This time with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness, they're both for the Nintendo DS. The core Pokemon RPG series, which is like Diamond and Pearl would be a good example, in those games you take on the role of a Pokemon trainer, usually a 10-year-old child who's kind of setting off in the region and is basically going to become the Pokemon Master. So you collect, battle, and trade with these Pokemon characters. What's really unique about the Dungeon series is that you actually become that Pokemon. The game starts off giving you a personality quiz, and the game will decide for you what kind of Pokemon you actually are. Now, you don't get to say, no, I'm not that Pokemon. It tells you, well, based off of what you've answered these questions, you are that Pokemon. The combat is really unique in this game in that it's a real-time, but at the same time a turn-based system. So it looks like everything's happening in real time, almost kind of like Diablo-esque when you're crawling through a dungeon and you're hacking and slashing. However, everything happens in a turn-by-turn phase. So for example, if I don't do anything and I let my game sit there, nobody's going to attack me. But the second I make a move, everybody else in the dungeon also gets to take an action. And then when it comes to combat, it's the same way. I get to attack, they get to attack. But it's carried out so quickly and by hitting buttons that it really feels like a real-time game. But your standard Pokemon features are there, so your Pokemon will gain levels, they'll learn new moves. One of the things that's unique to the Dungeon series, though, is the ability to actually link your moves together. Since each time you do one thing, it counts as a turn, the enemy Pokemon will then get to attack. You can link up to 4 moves together, so you've got one that drops their defense, ups your offense, and then it's like a super powerful move. You can link those together and nail somebody with that. It'll do all 3 moves at once to just completely devastate them. So there's a lot of different options with the combat. Also, there's a range feature that was never in the core RPG series, because in the core games, it's like you pop up, they pop up, let's battle, and then it's over. In this one, you're in an entire dungeon floor, and it's grid-based, and so you can say, okay, well, there's a Pokemon coming in over there, I'm going to throw something at him, and then I'm going to use a move that can go 3 spaces, and things like that. So they've also got range that they brought into it as well. There is a very cool new Wi-Fi feature that we've added for this one. In the past Pokemon Dungeon games, Red and Blue, Red Rescue Team, Blue Rescue Team, when you got knocked out in a dungeon, basically what would happen is you would lose your money and your items and you'd be sent back to the beginning of the dungeon, or you had the option to send out a rescue request. If you chose rescue request, you were given, I think it was about a 20-digit password, kind of an arduous thing that you had to send to a friend. We noticed a lot of people were going to the forums, posting those on the forums and waiting for people to reply. Well, the problem with that is there's a time lag between when they can get back in the game, because they're essentially paused until somebody can come rescue them.
Right.
So with that, the developers, we thought about, okay, well, how can we speed this up a bit and make it so that they can get back into action even quicker? And so we've added the feature now that you can send out rescue requests via the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection right away. Also, players have the ability to link an email account to their Nintendo DS. With this one, like I said, this game, more than any of them in the past, shows you what it's like to be an actual Pokemon and to live in their world. It's a deep, moving story, and I know it's, when you say that about a video game, it almost sounds kind of hokey, but this one is really, really well written. The guys who wrote it in Japan were great. The people who we had rewrite over here are just fantastic. So, I mean, it's a deep, spanning, epic adventure, and that's been my key word with this game all the time, is epic.